Kia ora. Welcome into this time. I'm Lucy Nguyen, chaplain at Selwyn Heights and chaplain for Selwyn House in Hanson Close on Auckland's North Shore. Today is the Monday public holiday for Anzac Day, which fell on a Saturday this year. I imagine on Saturday, many of us gathered on our driveways or balconies or doorways for a very different dawn parade or Anzac gathering. And yet the sincerity and emotion will have been no less. We stepped up within our bubbles to remember, to honor those who served in the wars, particularly those who died in serving, and to pledge our commitment to peace and working together. This remembering and feeling connected to something greater than ourselves is important. And it can be tricky, especially in this COVID-19 environment, to know if we have a place in this new way of being. You may, like I do, sometimes wonder, if not even despair on a particularly bad day, just how do I fit in? How do you fit in? What do we have to offer? Some folks seem so active and engaged with reaching out, easily using technology and sharing ideas. Some are baking for people, and some people seem to be sailing along, steady and confident, and others are just happy to be at home in the quiet. You may be wondering, am I doing it right? Is there a place for me, just as I am? Be assured there is a place for all of us, even if we're not doing it, quite like everyone we see on the nightly news, sending in fun videos or doing something amazing. There is a place amongst the big stories for those of us who have quieter or simpler stories of shared smiles and waves and plain old determination to get up every day, brush our teeth, and gaze out with love into the world, whatever is before us. It is with these thoughts in my head, then recognizing that today is indeed a public holiday, that I thought I would read you a story. Storytelling is one of our oldest forms of communication and part of the history of every society. We know Jesus, among other good and influential people, was big on stories. He seemed to love telling parables, stories with a message. He would take ordinary facts and details of life and weave them together to remind people of many things, including that they are loved, that they have a place in God's creation. And while loving God, they are also to treat others with love as they wish to be treated. So I'm going to share with you a favorite story about finding our place in the world or in the community around us. I'm going to read The Wrong Stone by Russell Deal, illustrated by Ray Bowler, copyright 2002, and published by St. Luke's Innovative Resources. The author has dedicated his story to Chris Jones. The Wrong Stone. The stone pile was a ragtag razzle-dazzle of different shapes, different sizes, different colors, and different characters. Some stones were smooth and some were flat. Some were hard. Some had chips on their shoulders, and some had rough edges and were a little cracked. But they all got along pretty well, like a big family in the stonemason's yard, until the day the big architect came. I want you to build me a wall with only perfect stones, the architect said. Well, the stonemason scratched his head, for all his stones were important. He had collected them from all over the world. Okay, he said slowly, I will build a wall with only my best stones. But now all the stones wanted the stonemason to think that they were the best. They put their best faces forward. They hid their ugly bits, and they tried to climb to the top of the pile. They formed into gangs who argued, oh, square stones are the neatest. Flat stones are easy to lay. White stones are the most beautiful. Triangles look zany, they said. Well, the stonemasons started work, but the stones had become a rabble of rubble. As each stone was selected, one by one, a stony silence descended. One stone began to feel very lonely. He was a strange shape. He was odd. He didn't seem to fit anywhere. The stonemason worked fast. Soon the stones started to see that there was a place for everyone, except the wrong stone. Oh, he is too fat on top. His sides slope. If he stands on his bottom, he will fall over, they said. The wrong stone felt bad. He knew the others were laughing at him. Oh, the stonemason thinks I'm useless, he thought. It looks like the crusher and the end of the road for me. Oh dear. But then, miracles of miracles, the stonemason picked him up. I've been saving you for the perfect spot, he said. It's your job to keep the whole wall together. The wrong stone had become the very right stone. And all the stones could see there was a perfect spot for each of them. Every stone had a place in the wall. Every stone worked together. Be assured, as you find your way through these days of COVID-19 and all your days to come, there is a place for you just as you are, and together we are stronger. Stay well, stay safe, and stay kind to others and to yourself. A prayer and blessing from Psalm 118. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day which the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. May the peace of God, which passes all understanding, keep your hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God and of his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. And the blessing of God, our Creator, Redeemer, and Giver of life, be with you always. Amen.